Susan, how do you feel about single-payer health care for all?
I'm a strong supporter of universal health care. How we get there, I think, is going to be the job of the Congress with the next president. And frankly, I'm excited about moving forward with whoever he or she might be. What is important is that we have a number of plans out there, and most of those do cover everybody. They may do it in some different ways, and we're going to be looking at that. I like the Wyden bill. Conyers, I know, has had a bill for a long time. You know, it's really interesting to me because we have fought Bush on this. I don't understand how it could be that parents who work hard every day, maybe in 2 and 3 jobs, do not have the ability to pay for their children's health care. And so we have pushed back on the president on that. We will continue to do that. We'll continue to work hard. So I would hope within the next 2 years, we have a plan in which everybody in this country has affordable, accessible health care.
Thank you. Okay. Susan? I'm sorry. You're right. Mike. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Universal health care. The right and access to health care, I think, is a fundamental right, and it is beyond time, it is past time that the United States join many, in fact, all of the other developed nations in guaranteeing health care to its citizens. That's what we need to enjoy the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. My father is a physician, and years ago he resisted the idea of national health insurance, and you know, now he endorses it. 14,000 doctors endorse the idea of national health insurance. John Conyers and Dennis Kucinich have a fantastic bill, H.R. 676, that I strongly endorse and will support. That is the National Health Insurance Act. I think we need to control the spiraling costs of health care. We need to, and it will essentially remove the for-profit insurance industry from the equation. But you know, this is America, and we'll still have choice. After guaranteeing everyone access to health care, there will continue to be opt-out and for-choice private insurance plans. But H.R. 676, I will take the lead. I'll endorse that, co-sponsor that my first day in office.
Okay. Mike, how do you feel about military recruiters in high schools?
Oh, yeah. We absolutely need to demilitarize our public schools, for God's sake. I'm going to speak about, and I respect the need of the military to have to recruit and bring new soldiers in. Look at the damage this administration is doing to that cause, but not in our schools and not under the guise or a hidden clause of No Child Left Behind. You know, Francisco Solar de Suarez, his son Jesus, signed up with the Marines. In 2003, stepped on a cluster bomb. It was March 26, 2003, and was killed. And I support Mr. Solar's efforts to go and re-educate students in high school so that they have other options. We need to demilitarize our schools. We don't need firing ranges or military science educations. Let's have schools focus on education and betterment and uplifting of all of us, and leave the military recruitment to somewhere else.
Susan?
I believe that we actually do need to allow people access to our schools who are there to try and reach kids in a host
audience,
in a host of different ways.
Whether you agree or disagree with somebody, please give them the respect of being silent and listening to them. Thank you.
Schools that allow military recruiters, they allow businesses to come on campus. I think they have to have strict rules on the way people are allowed to do that. And as long as somebody follows the rules, does not harass, then I think we need to permit that. I have spoken with a number of young people who believe that sometimes people go too aggressively to a number of students. And I can assure you that I work with recruiters on that issue. I have met with them. I have shared with them. It's good to have people who do that and who are willing to challenge them on that issue whenever, and when we get very few complaints about this, because I think that families need to know that they have a person they can call. That person is me in the district, and they have other ways that they can respond if they feel that their young people are not being approached in a reasonable way.
Okay. Susan, If you could do anything you want about global climate change, what would you do?
Wow. I think that in this world today, there are optimists and there are pessimists. The optimists, and I think they're probably all in this room as well, believe that there are many things that we can do. Innovation, creativity, educating young people, those are the things we can do. There are also pessimists, unfortunately, and we have to work with them as well. And pessimists, as you know, believe that there's really nothing that can be done because, number one, they probably don't buy into the idea, and number two, they really don't know how to go about doing that. We can do that. I have sponsored the climate change bills with Henry Waxman. I guess I've probably put my name on just about every climate change bill that we have, and I do believe there is a way to address that issue, and I would be specific. As I mentioned, in the community, we have ways of reducing our carbon footprint, and everybody has a responsibility in this. I'm excited for the next president because I do believe that the next president will change the tone and change the way we approach this issue.
Okay. Okay, Susan, we're back to you. I am so sorry. I make my notes here and I don't look at them. I apologize.
We're playing this waiting game in Congress. We don't need to. The people are desperate. In cities like Portland and Seattle are moving forward and signing the Kyoto Protocol on their own. And I think that it's time for Congress to begin showing that kind of leadership like Portland has done and say, look, let's draw a line and say by 2020, we will emit no more carbon than we are today, and how are we going to get from here to there? I'm a scientist. I look at the data. My sister is a PhD who studies carbon cycling and climate change in Fairbanks, Alaska. I'm listening to her. I think that we're ready. And I think that we've seen that the twin extremes of what? Denial, it's not happening, and despair, that there's nothing to do. And I reject both of those. I think it's time we roll up our sleeves. We can do it, and this will be a source of new markets. Addressing climate change will be the source of new jobs. We're going to grow some of those jobs here, and I'm excited to start. When I get to Congress, I'm going to ask Nancy Pelosi to assign me to the new subcommittee on alternative energy and climate change. That'll be the first thing I do.
Okay.